Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Ben Shapiro's comments have come back to bite him, and this time it is really, really, really bad. It's bad every time, but this all stems from Russell Brand. Russell Brand is a former actor, comedian, turned right-wing grifter. He positions himself as that guy that's just asking questions. He's a counterculture guru. You tune into his show on YouTube, and he'll talk about these shungite rocks you can rub on your balls, and then you live forever. He got accused by multiple different women after an investigation from Channel 4 and another news outlet in the UK. He got accused by 4 different women now of sexual assault. It is very serious. The allegations are as follows. Before we get into the Ben Shapiro clips, because this is all prefacing this. One woman alleges that Brand raped her without a condom against a wall in his Los Angeles home. She says Brand tried to stop her leaving until she told him she was going to the bathroom. She was treated at a rape crisis center on the same day, which the Times, which is one of the bodies that investigated, says it has confirmed via medical records. A second woman, this one is the main part that we're going to focus on just for this video, A second woman in the UK alleges that Brand assaulted her when he was in his early 30s and she was 16 and still at school. She alleges he referred to her as the child during an emotionally abusive and controlling relationship. Looking back, she says he, quote-unquote, engaged in the behaviors of a groomer. A third woman claims that Brand sexually assaulted her while she worked with him in Los Angeles. She alleges she repeatedly told Brand to get off of her, and when he eventually relented, he flipped and was super angry. She says he threatened to take legal action if she told anyone else about her allegation. The fourth woman has alleged being sexually assaulted by Brand in the UK and him being physically and emotionally abusive toward her. Now, there are many celebrities that have made comments about Russell Brand, talking about how they knew what type of person he was and that this behavior is nothing new. And, it's just the media that finally got hold of it and is talking about it now, which is super, super terrible. And, again, the main focus of this story should be the victims. It's always going to be the victims. That should be the main focus. That being said, Ben Shapiro, he's friends with Russell Brand. He's very good friends with Russell Brand. Russell Brand has produced content for the Daily Wire. And Ben Shapiro felt the need to defend his friend. But before we watch Ben Shapiro defend a rapist, we're going to watch Ben Shapiro say that you can't defend a rapist because then you're pro-rape. Here it is.
What's changed? A bunch of things. Number one, he refused to disassociate from the KKK on CNN. People say, well, he did it 99 other times. He did it all the time. Okay, if you ask me, do I think rape is bad? And 99 times I go, rape is terrible. And the 100th time I'm like, well, and if I do that, what's rape? What are you talking about, rape? I don't know what rape is. If I do that, I'm kind of pro-rape, right? I mean, you don't get to do that. So that was one clue. There are a bunch of indicators up to that point that he was unstable. So I am not going to be smeared with.
So you heard what he said. He said, he said 99 times out of 100, if you say rape is bad, and then that one time you say, well, then you're pro-rape. Here is Ben Shapiro, literally saying that rape's not a crime, at least not in the UK, and Russell Brand he's good. He is his friend.
Alice, whose name we have changed to protect her identity, now realizes she wasn't fine. During a relationship that lasted for about 3 months when Brand was a BBC radio presenter, she says he referred to her as the child and alleges he became increasingly controlling and then emotionally and sexually abusive. So at this time, Brand was 30, and she was apparently 16.
So in the United Kingdom, just for context, the age of consent is 16. But what Ben Shapiro fails to acknowledge in his very, 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 very charismatic rant defending his friend is that rape is still a crime. That part is still illegal.
Okay, now, in the United States, crime. In the UK, not crime. The age of consent in the UK is 16, and apparently Brand ascertained that she was 16 by asking her and checking, which means scuzzy, scumbaggy behavior, sure. Criminal behavior, no.
Yes, Ben. Rape is criminal behavior, Ben. Yes. You said it yourself, you fucking moron.
If you're, again, in the UK, and the age of consent changes from state to, I would prefer the age of consent be 18. But if you're not going to have that, then that's what it is.
He neglected to mention, literally glossed over the main part of the story, which is the sexual assault part of the story. That is the whole entire story. That's the story, Ben. And what does he do? He's focused on the age of consent part, which I understand. but I don't understand. I actually don't. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Ben, rape is a crime in the United Kingdom. It's still a fucking crime. Talk about that part, Ben. Don't just mention this age difference, because that's not even what... there are probably some people on social media that I'm sure are talking about that, but Ben, that is not the focus of the story here. He posted a 28-minute clip. I don't have this pulled up, excuse me. He posted a 28-minute clip to Twitter saying, Russell Brand, a person I consider a friend, has been accused of rape, sexual assault, and abuse between 2006 and to 2013 in a supposed expose from the Sunday Times in the UK. I didn't know Russell Brand during that time, but the media did. Ooh, mainstream media attacking someone who criticizes mainstream media. It's a classic. It's a classic. You criticize mainstream media, and then they hit you with the rape allegations. It's a tale as old as time, really. They knew that Russell Brand was not only promiscuous, but incredibly vile in the sorts of things that he said publicly about sex and about women, and yet the media were championing him. Why are you friends with this guy then, Ben? You say he's my friend, but you're making him sound like one of the worst fucking people ever, and you're just glossing over the rape part completely. He gets a full scale, 10 years later, when Russell has fixed... 10 years later, after Russell Brand has made me so much money. Yes, after I hired Russell Brand and made him make me a bunch of money, after he fixed his life, he gets a full-scale expose about all of the allegations made by these women. Ben Shapiro is a fucking piece of shit. Like, fuck him. He literally is pro-rape. All conservatives, not all conservatives, but the majority of conservatives, they are literally pro-rape. It's sad. I saw a Benjamin Dixon tweet not too long ago where he was responding to Matt Walsh talking about slavery and, how he was saying that slavery had benefits and it benefited, like, women. It was the weirdest fucking tweet I've ever seen. And Ben was like... He said something like, this makes sense when you consider that conservatives are pro-rape culture. It absolutely makes sense. I mean, we have evidence of such. Today on my show, I went through some of these allegations and my thoughts on the odd timing. So when Harvey Weinstein got exposed, that was odd timing. When the whole Me Too movement happened, that was just odd timing. When Kevin Spacey got accused, that was just odd timing. When Chris D'Elia got accused, that was just odd timing. When anyone that's not a super lefty, lib, progressive Democrat, if it's someone that's not that gets accused, the timing is odd. Do you have video proof? Like, do you have proof that you got raped? Like, if you don't have, like, a picture of it, then it's not real, right? According to these conservatives, it doesn't matter what Ben Shapiro said. I played only 42 seconds of whatever this segment is, a 30-minute segment, but it doesn't matter what Ben Shapiro is going to say in this 28-minute video, and I'm not going to watch the 28-minute video. I don't care. I'm not going to play the 28-minute video for you. I already know a lot of what Ben Shapiro is going to say, and he's not going to come out and condemn his friend. He's not going to come out and say, Russell Brand's a fucking piece of shit. He did some really fucked up shit. I'm cutting all ties with him. And what he did was absolutely terrible. And then, focus on the victims. Because that's what he should do. If Ben Shapiro was a decent human being, like he claims to be, if Ben Shapiro was not one of the most evil motherfuckers on this earth, like he claims not to be, then that's what he would do. But he's not going to do that. And again, I'm not going to sit here and subject you to any more Ben Shapiro literally being pro-rape, because that's disgusting. It's nasty. And if the roles were reversed, if this was happening to someone in Ben Shapiro's family and people were coming out like me, if I came out for some reason and someone in Ben Shapiro's family had this happen to them, and I came out and said, well, let's just talk about how weird these allegations really are. Okay, let's see. I mean, Ben Shapiro's such a great guy, or Ben Shapiro's such a bad guy, and, this and that. It doesn't matter. It's disgusting. Ben Shapiro, I don't understand how he has a platform. I don't understand why people use their platforms to spread this type of hate. Money must really be more important to them, to someone like Ben Shapiro, than actually having integrity as a human being, which is something that I can't even fathom my brain being that just far gone that the only thing that I see is dollar signs, and that's all I'm thinking about. So if someone that's really close friends of mine makes content for me, gets accused of some very heinous things, I immediately have to go on the 30-minute defense for him. I have to jump on the defense and say that it's all a big lie. It's all one big mainstream media lie. It's exhausting, guys. But that's going to be it for this video. Guys, let me know what you thought of Ben Shapiro and his comments from years ago where he says, well, you can never do this. And if you do it, then you're pro-rape. But then literally doing the thing that he said you're not allowed to do. Let me know what you thought. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Press that little bell. Turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.